Good morning. I don't wanna die. I hum under my breath as I fight death in the quiet depths of the bunker. GM, everybody, let's go. Look at this keyboard, man. This is my new keyboard, okay? It's tiny. Alright? Should we use this tiny keyboard for the stream? Proving once and for all that it absolutely doesn't matter what keyboard you have, even a small folding keyboard. Tiny keys. No. But, okay, guys, no, there's been... Alright, we're feuding with the company right now, okay? There's a feud going on. We're gonna lower this. This is a little loud. We got a feud going on, and I'm gonna tell you all about it. Because I just on this stream, I want you to not make the same mistakes I did. No, it's not. Well, you know what? It's Qualcomm related, kind of. How many people we got? The feud aspect has to wait till we get some more people in here. No more patent troll. No more patent troll. No. It's not Qualcomm. Yeah, you love drama? I know that's what you're in here for. Okay, so I bought a OnePlus Open, okay? I bought this phone. I bought it from the OnePlus store. That was my first mistake. Never buy anything not from Amazon. No, like never buy anything not from Amazon. I was like, oh, I can save $200. I seriously screwed up. Do not ever buy something from the store that's not Amazon. Okay? So that was my first mistake. So I got the phone and I bricked it. Okay? Alright, I bricked it. No way. I set the fastboot partition to B. Ironically, to try to not brick it, I did fastboot set active slot B or whatever. Yeah, so I set the active slot to B because I was like, oh, well, I'll mess around with B and I can always go back to A. Well, it turns out that when you do this, you get QDL. You end up in QDL mode. Now, I've owned OnePlus devices before. I owned two other OnePlus devices. I owned a OnePlus 3 and a OnePlus 5. OnePlus historically has released all the QDL data. So I was like, whatever. I'll download it. Oh, I'll have to get a Windows phone. So let's see if we can find it. I'm gonna turn this off and we'll see if everything still works. Okay. Yeah, so OnePlus, let's just download like system images. Their website is very slow. But yeah. So for those of you just getting in here, whatever you do, never buy anything from the OnePlus store, for reasons that will become apparent in a bit. Alright, well, like, the website's fucked, but the point is, you can't download any images for the OnePlus 10, the OnePlus 11, or the OnePlus Open. OnePlus stopped releasing images to restore, so my phone is stuck in QDL mode. It's not broken, it's not bricked. They have software that in 5 minutes can restore it. The problem is I don't have it. The software for the OnePlus 11 leaked. See, like, I'm working out how to, like, really put this into a Twitter zinger because this company... So, I'm just like, you know what? If I don't have the software, I don't even want the phone. I'll return it, right? Return policy within 15 days. They won't take it back. They will not take the phone back. And, like, look, I don't care about the money. I don't care about, it's not even about that. Like, I'll keep the phone. I said, look, coming up as I posted the, coming up is Qualcomm QUSB, do you have tool to fix? Hi, we don't have tool to fix. I'm like, okay, if you don't have tool to fix, I want to return the device. I liked OnePlus for their openness, but it seems QDL Flash is no longer available after OnePlus 9. Hi, George. Thank you for your response. As per the explanation below, the device has been rooted. It actually has not been rooted because all I did was literally fastboot set active B. We will be unable to create a return request and process the refund. We will be unable to create a return request. So OnePlus is refusing to take my phone back. And you know what, guys? I fucked up on multiple ways. I mean, I set the partition to B and I bought something from the OnePlus store, but this is a company that has absolutely and completely destroyed their brand. It is so sad that they've gone from the OnePlus 3T in the comma device to take the fucking phone back. It will take you 5 minutes to run the software to restore it. I'm happy to run that software, but you didn't give it to me. And you know what? Honestly, could I figure out how to do it? Sure, I could spend all weekend doing it, but I'm too old for that shit. I'm so disappointed. And then, like, you know, it's just like, come on, man, let me return the phone. No, you can't return the phone. We're not honoring our policy. You read the policy. Does it say anything about rooting or anything like that? No, it says don't, tamper with it or open it. So I did a chargeback, and just like, it made me have a realization being on the other side of this, and I never want comma to be like this. I cannot believe that this company has gone from, I kind of like their brand, to completely destroying their brand in my mind. Do not buy a OnePlus phone. And if you really want to buy a OnePlus phone, if you really decide you still want to buy a OnePlus phone, buy it on Amazon. What kind of company doesn't let you return something? So I think we're really good about this at comma. The 30-day money-back guarantee at comma is really complete and true. We take them back in all sorts of states. I mean, look, if you broke it on purpose, but the phone's not even broken. They can run their factory restore software and it'll be fixed in 5 minutes. But it just leaves such a bad taste in my mouth. I'm sorry, sir, but we cannot help you process a return request. Well, why do you say you have a no questions asked 15-day return policy? Do not buy from the OnePlus store. Always buy on Amazon. You have no consumer protection, and now I'm dealing with the bank to do a chargeback. And you know what? Guys, look, I don't even care. The problem is you just piss me off, man. Just unbelievable. They can sue me though. You're not supposed to charge back when I'm not in the right. What do you mean I'm not in the right? They have a 15-day return policy. You may request a refund or replacement within 15 calendar days of delivery. Defects or damages caused by misuse, neglect, physical damage, tampering, incorrect adjustment, normal wear and tear, or incorrect installation. I genuinely don't think any of them apply. All I did was run fastboot set active B. But also it's it doesn't even matter, right? Why? No, look, I'm not trying to keep the phone. I'm trying to send the shit back. I told them Monday, if they don't give me an address, I'm just going to ship it to their office. And it's just, but why would you have a brand like this? You know what I mean? And, I told them, I'm like, hey man, I got 22,000 Twitter followers. We got to figure out how to write this up as a neat zinger on Twitter. But it's so sad. I really recommend you don't buy this phone. Just because I compare this to Apple. My MacBook was late in being delivered, and I was mad about this. And the first thing they say is, well, you can always cancel the order and get a full refund. And I don't want to do that, right? Look, things happen, whatever. I want my MacBook. But the fact that you offered that to me made me feel good. I don't really want to return this phone. I don't care. I just want to unbrick it. And you know what? I could probably piece together the EDL software from the OnePlus 11. Maybe I'll do it. Firehose. They added this new thing called, I added this new thing called VIP, Verified Image Programming. And you just got to work around it. And like once you're brew installing Ghidra again, and I'm like, yeah, I could do this, but I'm too old for this, you know? Like why don't you just, here. So did this finally load? No, their website's broken. But yeah, they stopped releasing the images after the OnePlus 9. So, you know, I'm still giving this issue my time. Yeah, because it upset me, okay? It upset me. And like, you know what, guys? You know how Pickles from BoJack Horseman uses the pickle pack to help process emotions? You guys are here to help me process my emotions about this. How should I feel about this? No, I don't, like, it's so disappointing. Like, you know what? The Google Pixel Fold is worse, but I should have bought it. Like, and I expected this kind of behavior from Samsung, right? Like, if I bought a Samsung phone, I know what to expect. But, you know, I thought OnePlus was better. The irony, they call it the Open, like, but yeah, no, whatever you do, I'm not even going to tell you not to buy the phone. I'm not even going to tell you not to buy the phone. But whatever you do not buy it from the OnePlus store. Never buy anything from the OnePlus store. Buy it on Amazon where it would already be on its way back. Absolutely, absolutely insane. And like, why do you do this, right? Like, this isn't worth it. And this is my philosophy at Comet too. Like, I ask people, you know, when they come in Discord and they ask something, I'm like, I really want you to put yourself on the other side of this, right? I really want you to put yourself on the other side. And you know what? I do put myself on the other side. I run a consumer electronics company, sort of. I don't really run it anymore, but, you know, I used to. And just, we every customer, like, we're just like, please send it back. Like, just please send it back. We'll give you your money back, right? Like, we don't want you to have a bad time. We want you to send it back. And the fact, like, I didn't even want to send it back. But when you told me I couldn't, fuck you, I'm sending it back. No, that's all, yeah. Like, why do you want me, you can send it in for repair. Like, you know what? No, but see, then what really infuriates me is, guys, look, you know, I still know how to hack phones and stuff. I could fix this. I could release a nice tool on GitHub that re-implements. I was looking at like this like EDL thing, and like this, you know, the world has become like unofficial. No, that's actually, like, I don't mean to hate. It's actually, it's pretty good, but like, there's like, this doesn't implement this VIP programming. I could implement it. I could write a restore script for everybody in their OnePlus Open. But why would I give them that, you know? Why do I want to help this brand out? I want to send this phone back and never think about OnePlus again. No, it's not good content. Like you know, I emailed the CEO. You know, I've met the CEO too, which is, it's just like sad. It's just sad when these people take over these brands and they just do not care. And look, it's not going to impact sales tomorrow. This isn't going to impact sales tomorrow. I am hoping that if I maybe 5 people will watch this video and decide, just, you know what, I don't want to buy a OnePlus Open now. Good. Like, don't like, or if you are going to buy it on Amazon, because you can actually return it. I don't want a replacement. I want to return it. But I agreed to the policy. I agreed to what policy? Misuse, neglect, physical damage, tampering. I think this means if you take the phone apart. You know what I mean? Like, I understand if I smash the phone with a hammer, you can't take it back and it doesn't have value to you, right? But fastboot set active B, which should have worked because you should have flashed both partitions. I mean, you know, I should have thought, oh, maybe they don't flash both partitions. But again, like, my assumption that these people just weren't a shitty company, you know? So, you agreed to the policy. Like, okay, you can say I'm in the wrong. I don't really care about the $1,500. But, like, They have their policy and I have mine, and I'm putting them in blast on stream. And now I need you guys to help me process my emotions, because if we're in a bad mood, you know, we're not gonna work on Mixtral. We're just gonna close the stream and take a shower and eat apple pie. Like if they had, no, are they struggling financially? Good, they should be, because like this is, like, don't act this way. Yeah, no, it's just, you know what? It's also, it's like disappointing. You know, like we use the OnePlus 3T in the early common devices. I guess like part of this isn't even my anger at OnePlus. It's my anger at the phone market in general. Like, why don't you release the image? Not only do they not release the QDL image, they don't even release, there's not even releases of like the OTAs you can download. There's no factory images for the OnePlus Open. There's no teardown videos for the OnePlus Open. There's no like people who take it apart. Yeah. So, you know what? I'm going to send it back and buy a Samsung. Yeah. No, and like, look. If they decide, if my chargeback gets denied, whatever, that's like what it is, man. Sure, you agreed to the policy. Yeah, I don't really care. But like, it just makes me sad that people aren't better. Cause companies don't want you to own your things anymore. Yeah, like I was sitting with Alex, and I'm like, do I have to make a phone? Like, you know, it's a bigger problem. It's a bigger problem where this device, which mediates so much of your life, is not owned by you, right? And like, you're like, oh, Apple's good. Apple's consumer focused. Why can't I buy porn on the App Store, right? I'm not saying porn should be visible. Maybe it should be a super opt-in thing, but why can I not buy porn? Why can I not download porn apps on my iPhone? You know? It's just like a device that you put so much of your life into is not owned by you. And jailbreaking is not the solution. I was thinking last night, like, you know, you go on like, whatever, I'll say, InfoSec Twitter. These people hate me. Like, yeah, you know why you hate me? Because I got out. Because there was no future in this shit. There's no future in jailbreaking phones. Right? Like as long as you're playing this cat and mouse game with a manufacturer who genuinely doesn't like you, like, you can't have this. So look, again, I run a consumer electronics company trying to do it better. Two ways I've really tried to do it better. One is forks of the software and the other is forks of the hardware, right? Forks are the solution to this stuff. If somebody could fork the iPhone tomorrow and make the porn iPhone, you know, again, it's not entirely porn, it just has porn as an option. Then like this wouldn't be a problem, right? Then you can let things compete on the free market. But the problem is these people are so locked in, right? I can't make this device. How much did they get the OnePlus 8550 chip for, right? The Qualcomm, and that's why it's somewhat Qualcomm related. No, I really can't use a better example than porn, right? Like porn is a very clear place that I think what percentage of men watch porn? An absurdly high number, right? Why does the phone not support it? Android is open source, yeah, but like Android's an example of where open source, like this is where it breaks down, right? You know, and this is the GPL v3 TiVoization. You can go back into history and read all about this stuff. When I'm making a porn poll, you can look up that statistic, right? But it's just a way, again, where, yeah. Patents don't make competition impossible. I think competition's possible. I think it's possible to make phones. I think it's just hard. Should the percentage of men be that high? No, you see, that's the difference between me and fucking communists and authoritarians, right? I believe that people should really be able to make their own choices. Now, you can talk about if there's stuff pressuring their choices, but I'm not here to say porn is good or porn is bad, right? I'm here to say the market should have 2 editions of the iPhone, the porn edition and the non-porn edition, right? You don't choose what other people do with your life, exactly. No, it's just, so, okay, look. If you are going to take one thing away from this, never buy anything from the OnePlus store. And do not expect anything from their support people. If you do want to buy the phone, buy it on Amazon, who will actually return it. And, you know, again, it just makes me appreciate Amazon. You know, and like the worst part is, if I bought it on Amazon, I might have even put it, like, I can unbrick it from QDL, right? Like, I can put in the effort and do that. And I would feel good doing it because I knew that I always could return it. But the minute OnePlus told me that they weren't going to honor their return policy, I have to return it, right? I don't have a choice. Like you know, maybe it's oppositional defiance disorder or something. But, all right. Yeah, I bought it from OnePlus because I was like, oh, you know what? You know what? I made stupid mistakes in my life. I sold my Meta stock. What a stupid mistake, you know? These are my great regrets in life. My great regrets in life are selling Meta stock and buying a OnePlus Open from the OnePlus store. So I emailed the CEO. We'll see if that goes anywhere. I did a chargeback through the bank. We'll see if that goes anywhere. I escalated to level 3. Just their language fucking pisses me off. Like, talk to me like a... All right. Just because, you know what'll really calm us down? Reading some comments. Let's read a couple comments from last week's archive, and then we will get started on this beautiful stream Saturday.
You guys know that Black
Mirror. Do we have to do some meditation? I need you guys to help me process my emotions here. All right. How should I feel? How are we gonna get revenge, right? Or are we gonna let it go? Are we gonna, you know, be like Jesus and turn the other cheek? Would anything change? Well, how do we make stuff change? Right? Like, that's a question. How do we get OnePlus to release the QDL files? Yeah, like, no, I'm not adding them to Sony and Axel Nix. Sony and Axel Nix crossed a incredibly serious line. When you sue somebody, you threaten violence against them, right? That's what it is. But no, you are threatening violence. You are threatening using the state's power apparatus against an individual, right? Like, suing somebody like that is really not that forgivable, right? You know, there's times when it's appropriate to sue people over, like, limited scope things. But no, I mean, you know, what Sony and Axel Nix did is just, like beyond the pale. What OnePlus did, like, okay, wow, they're another shitty consumer brand, right? Like, I had a higher opinion of them than I should have. And that's all I'm really going to say about that. And, you know, yeah, right. Like, it's not, they didn't do anything terrible to me. They're just like, they're a shitty brand. They don't honor their policy. And like, okay, well, what are you going to do about it? I should have bought on Amazon. You know, it is buyer beware, caveat emptor, right? But we're trying to be better at comma. And, you know, if I try to be accessible, right? Like, if somebody feels, and look, there are 2% of people who are unreasonable. Right? There are some people who are just so unreasonable, and you just have to say no to the 2% of people. But for 98% of people, you know, I want comma to be good. And if it's ever not, you can email me. I read all your emails. I don't reply to most of them, but, you know, or you can post a comment. And that is a beautiful segue into today's comment reading. This is actually a decent introduction to ctypes. Every time I watch your videos, I get more and more impressed how you do things. Grateful for the content. Andre and George are the only coders worth. No, come on. You gotta give me. What is this? I want spicy comments. Well, that's because you have to pay taxes. I don't know. Oppressive powers and love the free market. Oh, okay. So, I think I'm the rare person who believes in the free market and regulation to ensure the free market, right? You can't, an unregulated market is not a free market. You need to have regulations to ensure the market is free, right? I think it should be absolutely illegal that Apple doesn't let you sideload apps onto the iPhone, right? Microsoft got hit with an antitrust lawsuit for bundling Internet Explorer with Windows, right? Fast forward 20 years, Apple doesn't just bundle Safari, it makes it impossible for you to install a competing web browser. How is this legal? So no, you absolutely need a regulatory apparatus to ensure the market is free. I don't know. It seems obvious to me, and it seems like one of these dichotomies. Well, the Democrats want to regulate everything, and the Republicans want everything to be free. Like, no, we want to regulate things to be free, but nobody's going to give you that. Yeah, the universities are really showing their true cards lately too. So that's been nice. Whoever these university, whoever runs them. Word salad. Anarcho-capitalism. I mean, again, the problem with anarcho-capitalism is the exact same thing. You can't, okay. I want you to ask the difference. Ask the question, what's the difference between communism where the state owns everything and capitalism where BlackRock owns everything? Right? Like, what's the difference? Answer, none. You can't have this, right? If all the corporations merge into one super corporation, that's effectively the same thing as communism. Interns are paid between $1,400 a week and $2,000 a week. I posted the salaries on Twitter. I am a trans woman, and I agree with George here on wokeism. Thank you. Yeah, I'm happy we went to the trans issue last time. Don't hate trans people, guys. Always punch up. J.K. Rowling is the root of all evil. No, J.K. Rowling is an example, and I never want to be that example. You always got to watch out for J.K. Rowling, which is like, she wrote Harry Potter books, and now what is she known for? I don't know, some feminism. I'm going to have some 5-hour explanation where I explain to you the real trans ideology. Oh my God. I don't even know. It's just like I just associate that with a Karen. It's like, all right, wow. Okay, no, these comments are stupid. If we're talking about J.K. Rowling, the comments are stupid. Let's go. Let's see what we got here. Okay, so we are SSH'd into a tiny box. Tiny 8. Transhumanism, exactly. You should experience life as all genders. I love this shit. But always watch out for doing irreversible shit until the future comes where we can reverse everything and live in transhumanist paradise. Alright, that one goes over there. That one goes over there. Let's create an example. And we'll do mixtral.py. From tinygrad.nn.state import load. Okay, it's a torch file. Ooh, we should do this. Is that gonna work? So I don't accidentally corrupt my beautiful model. We've been seeding it a while too, just in case anyone needs. Interesting. It's probably a good idea anyway. I want to support read-only tensors, so this is a good start to that. Access default. Oh, this is unrelated. This is prot. This is unrelated to access. Okay, that was not fast. So this should be a dictionary for K in model, print K, and actually how about KV in model dot items, print K, V dot shape. Okay, cool, bros. Oh, okay, so they're not all interesting. Now, unfortunately, in a tiny box, we only have 6 GPUs. So maybe we just use 4 of them until we have a better way to shard it. Oh, I see. So the attention's the same. How does this even work? I don't really know how mixture of experts models work. Okay, the experts have all different weights. We'll make the code a little bigger. I heard someone said eye strain. Should we get the glasses out to avoid eye strain? Maybe we should get the glasses. Where are my glasses? You know, for a long time, people have been able to see things at a further distance than me. And, like, I got my eyes checked and my vision's good. But the problem is that I have astigmatism. And it's interesting. All right. How much is BlackRock spending on lobbying? It's spending subscribers-only chat on lobbying. That's right. You can also print the D type. By the way, notice how we can do torch load and it doesn't actually load it anywhere. This is done all dynamically. So we can do like v.device here. And you can see that, wait. No, that absolutely should not be GPU. No, that shouldn't be GPU. That doesn't make sense. Wait, what? No, that shouldn't be GPU. How is it on? How did I fit all these weights on the GPU? They should be disk. You can see here, like this is on the disk. Oh. Oh, I see. Interesting. So this is how we deal. These are bfloat 16, but we're doing this thing to hack around them. This is a converter from bfloat 16 to float 16. Huh. All right, we'll comment that out for now. Okay, and now you can see they're all on disk. Yeah, so it's creating them, but it's not actually doing the copy because the tensor hasn't been realized. So that's the... Okay, here's the basic format. Let's understand how these mixture of experts models work. Or maybe there's just some... neural alignment. It feels strangely different than anything I've tried before. Oh, this is some different model. Okay, what does number of experts per token mean? I mean, I know that this number of experts per token, number of experts, this is the same as what GPT-4 is. Two experts at a time, apparently. How does it know which one to run? No, not Mistral instruct. Okay, this one's good. How do I actually run this? There's one linear layer that takes the MLP input and outputs one scalar per expert. What? Oh, this is a great stream. Okay. One more official way. Oh, this doesn't look right. Called gate. Current hacked way of inference. Oh, okay. By the way, do I have a tokenizer? I do have a tokenizer. By the way, come on, how good is Mistral, man? How good is Mistral? That's so cool. Results. What is this? I don't know. Okay. So yeah, this number of experts per talk. Striped hyena? What? They don't need to give more details in the magnet. Like, Don't figure it out, man. Like, we just dropped this for you. That's so cool. That's so cool. Respect the hacker culture, man. It's coming back, you know. It's coming back. Wait, okay. We gotta, like, is it actually switch transformers? This is great, because this is also how GPT-4 works. So we're gonna learn how GPT-4 works. Is this striped hyena thing related, or are you guys just talking about unrelated shit? What is this? Oh, is this some like this looks like what's the new one people are hyped about? I haven't put a bounty up for it. That was state-space models. Yeah. What's the Mamba? Is the other one people are excited about? Yeah. Okay. Does someone have a clear explanation of how this thing works? Give me the simplest explanation for how I'm actually supposed to run this model. Check the model weights, and there's one in the MLP called gate. Okay, I see gate. You can check the convert script. Ran the MLP input through that, and it gives me 8 outputs, 1 per expert. Okay, how do I decide which ones to run? No, I don't really care about this, unless this explains it. Then you take the top 2 highest values. Okay, let's look at normal llama. And then let's take a look at what we have to do here, and we'll see what we can import from llama. You know, we'll just kind of make it work with the okay, we have a transformer block, and it has something special called gate. So we're gonna have to rewrite the transformer block. We'll call it like mixture transformer block. Well, someone has to have already just written this. Oh, okay, so here, self feed forward MOE. All right, we'll copy and paste transformer block, and then we'll change it. And we'll see if it can load. Mixture transformer block from mixture.models.llama, import attention, feed forward, RMS norm, from tinygrad, import tensor, from typing, import union, tensor variable, optional, cool. And then we're going to need another class called transformer. FFN norm, attention norm, attention. Okay, so it looks like feed forward is the only thing that changes. There's this class called MOE. What if some of them aren't experts? What if some of them are beginners? No, you name them experts. It's like when Arthur named his dog Pal. Should this really be called MOE? Okay, fine. This is the reference. Feed forward expert. Yeah. Okay, we'll stick with my name and call it. Let's see if this official one's better. I don't think this supports it. Yeah, this doesn't support it. Did Mistral drop a real one to run it? I think it was in like a branch. I saw this yesterday. Mega blocks public. No, they had a branch. I saw it yesterday. Here, Mixtral. This looks complicated. This looks very complicated. But they call it MOE, so we'll stick with the name. Another potential inference implementation. Okay. These people just called it feed forward. I don't know how I feel about that. Whatever. Mixture feed forward. Yeah, I saw their MOE layer. I don't know. Which one was the best one? There was one that I liked the best. The one that had the MOE name. That one was like readable. This is readable. But I don't think MOE is the right name here. I think the right name is like MixtureFeedForward. And then are the experts just normal MLPs? There's a list of them. W1, W2, W3. Yeah, I think I can just use a normal feed forward there. Self.experts equals feed forward. Oh, I need to come up with stupid dimension. These are ints, and we should make them ints. Mixture feed forward, and we can just put in. So this somehow number of experts per token. Oh, torch.topk. Oh, I see. Wow. So this isn't jittable. Expert weights. Wait, no, it runs them all. I don't understand this. Yeah, I mean this is an idea from Pack 8. which is really cool. Like, it's really cool that this is just being used. And this is what GPT-4 is too. So, you know, just keep that in mind. Okay, maybe I just edit this so I don't need to do... And then we can just do... model equals transformer. Okay, so where are the args for this thing? Parameters.json, okay. Dimension equals 4096. Hidden dim equals that. And heads equals 32, and KV heads equals 8. Norm PS equals 1e minus 5. Vocab size equals 3100. And then TF block equals mixture transfer block. What I should probably do is put the number of experts in it. Whatever, we can do that some other time. Okay, is feed forward right there? Yeah, so feed forward experts, and that's a list. Those are just normal, those things. We're gonna have to put these on different GPUs and think about how we want to do that. This whole thing's not going to fit on one GPU. Good thing we have a lot of them. Okay. That's probably still correct, I'd say. Don't need to do that, which is nice. Oh, we'll just import transformer from here. Is the tinybox up and running yet? Yeah, I'm working on a tinybox right now. Rest SSH into a tinybox. Tinybox. Oh, we're missing n layers. N layers is 32. But that's such a weird ordering. I'll put it here. Doesn't matter. KW args. Okay, mixture feed forward init takes 4 positional arguments, but 5 were given. Oh, this is stupid linear. I don't really care about that. It's just to deal with. That shouldn't be like that. We're gonna refactor that someday. Okay, feed forward linear. That's good. Okay, the model builds. Get state dict. Dot items. Okay, we should like check if they're the same or something. Can we assign? I have like code for this, but I hacked the bfloat shit. A state loader somewhere. Load state dect. I don't know if that's really what I want to do. I want something that looks kind of like that though. Okay. v.assign state sub k uint. I assume they all are bfloat16. Yeah, they are. Okay, good. No. Fake bfloat16 to float16. Good thing we made that fast just in time. Thank you, Kazilin. Okay, we are lacking in the freaks sys department. We have that in the model, but we don't have that in... Yeah, okay, that's fine. We can just skip that one. Oh, also, if you're into feuding with companies, check out the latest in the feud with AT&T. My feud with AT&T was over, but they showed up and sucker punched me. No, they tapped me on the shoulder. I'm not going to say a sucker punch, but, you know, don't tap me on the shoulder, man. What's that song? You know, internet love. I'm on the internet because I'm an internet thug. What are we doing? We're trying to get Mixtral to run. Okay, that's all pretty good. Is it gonna like work? No, we have to write this. We have to write MixtureFeedForward. Squigloo. Never at the top, just feel so unreachable. I dropped out of college because I'm completely unteachable. Quentin's new friend? Yeah. Alex says I'm not allowed to name things Billy anymore. I always want to name things Billy. Alright, so how do I implement this? Can I put in the gate? What's particularly annoying is I can't actually copy all the way to the GPU. But let's just try it anyway. I don't know. Where's my llama inference engine? Probably the one encoder is better. Tokenizer crap. Okay, let's just try start pause equals, wait, what? Do I have it so I can pass temperature into here? Yes, I can, okay. I don't know, what's a good temperature? How are we feeling temperature-wise? 0.7? Start pause equals 0. and tox equals, I don't know, that sounds good. Am I hosting the tinybox in a data center? A compute cluster. Start pause should be greater than 0. Well, I don't really know why that is. Oh. No JIT. No JIT. Underlying buffer is not writable. See, that could have been bad. I think I just tried to write to some of my... Oh, yeah, that's bad. Wait, no. What? Huh? CLNQ write buffer from MV. Oh. Well, it doesn't like that I did those hacks for... This is also terrible. I didn't realize that. We're gonna have to do some El Chapo. Let's El Chapo that. Where's my Chapo? El Chapo. It's not in helpers. That's in ops. You see how that's printing too much? I'm not happy about that. So let's fix that. Let's new code. It's not in ops either. It's in device. Here, because I now pass in the device. Well, something like that. Okay, now it looks more beautiful. No, if you're getting errors trying to use metal, this is a known bug. There's people complaining about it. I don't really know how to fix it because I can't reproduce it. Oh, we gotta do that. Where's that copy? We gotta do that there too. Gotta get the Chapo out. Copy. I forgot that disk devices could have very long names. I think that's in Realize, maybe? No, it's in device where I schedule the copy. Where do I schedule the copy? Internal buffer copy here. We're doing 10 and we're chopping them to 10. Good. Now it looks beautiful. No, it's not your fault. The bug's annoying. You can read about it. Wow. Wow, look at all those gigabytes. That's too many gigabytes, man. Okay, underlying buffer is not writable. Can I have a read-only memory view in Python? What if I can't? You're off topic now. Data.read only. Underlying buffer is not writable. Interesting. Can I do a const pointer in ctypes? Which, by the way, which specifically, I should be using Python. Do I have 3.11 on here? Gotta install it. Because I think Python 3.11 will tell me which actually raised the error, right? Why does that come up all the time? I don't know. Oh wait, we're gonna have to install all of tinygrad's dependencies. You ready? Ready? You ready for this? We're gonna install all of tinygrad's dependencies in Python 3.11. What? Oh. Sorry. Pip install -e doc, right? Oh, NumPy had to download. Oh, look how long it took to install NumPy. This is all of tinygrad's dependencies. Okay. totype.fromBuffer. I see. From buffer. ctypes from buffer. What else is like from buffer but const? From buffer copy. No. ctypes instance that shares the buffer must support the writable buffer instance. We are not making copies. For a byte array, that is what? Address of from buffer. Okay, I want ctypes read only memory view. All right, I have an idea. Think Quentin can help us? Sorry, I can't use ChatGPT on stream. It's against the OpenAI terms of service. No, I'm sorry, I'm spreading FUD. It's not really against the OpenAI terms of service. I just don't want to show you guys my ChatGPT history. Because then I'd have to log into something. So let's ask Quentin. Create a read-only view. Ooh. String buffer. Wait, what? Does that make a copy? Oh no! I can pass the string as a parameter using ctypes pointer. Interesting. Can I get a const pointer in ctypes? Wait, for constant value, these types are immutable and can be used for read-only memory access. What? Bytes or integer address expected instead of string instance. Okay. I don't know. Let's try some stuff. So what if instead of this, what if I just literally do this? Does that work? ctypes is really like finicky and expected cchar instead of memory view. The from buffer is failing. Maybe I can hack the memory view. Can I unset the read-only property on a memory view? Oh no! No. Okay, MemoryView has like a bunch of weird... We have to get Big Mistral up. It can answer my questions. Probably some way to like cast it to not be read-only. Oh, to read-only. Okay, how do I do from read-only? I mean, look, we can hack this all to not... like, we can just not make it read-only. But it's something we should fix anyway. Right? And I know you guys like when I struggle, so that's good. Foreign functions which show up in a microaggression dictionary. Okay. Convert a memory view to a ctypes object. No, I don't want to do that. Okay, where is this actually being used? Can I not just... No, that's going to complain. Is it going to complain? Bytes like objects required, not string. Oh, it doesn't know that it's Python 3. Can I do that without creating a copy? You can pass the memory view as a parameter to a C function using the ctypes pointer, but this doesn't work. Two bytes makes a copy. Is there a from buffer const? Why is ctype so poorly documented? From address. How do I get the address of memory? Probably by creating a ctypes. Integer expected. Python get address of memory view. Found a solution. Complicated crap. You can only use byte array to create a mutable memory view. Oh. That looks terrible. If there's a bug. Suggested ctypes. Oh. But someone has to have fixed it by now. Alright, let's see it on GitHub. Wanted read-only access. This is awful. Then what do I do with it? What do I do with a what do I do with a read-only shed? Okay, you know what? I have another solution. We're going to call it the B partition in honor of the OnePlus phone I bricked. By the way, if you're just joining the stream, whatever you do, do not buy anything from the OnePlus store. They do not honor their return policy. Pay the extra money and buy it on Amazon. Jeff Bezos is a G who makes rockets and Amazon basic trucks called Rivian. And the OnePlus store is really the worst customer support experience I've had in a long time. So do not. And then also, why did the company stop releasing the QDL stuff after the OnePlus 9? You know, just why do you do this? Why does everything become shitty over time? You're just like, oh, how can I extract more money? How can I extract more? How the people haven't given enough, milk them for more. Did I buy a Cybertruck? No, I didn't. Can you buy a Cybertruck? Is that like a normal thing? Can you just buy one? Why is it so slow? I have a very fast hard drive. Okay, well, we made a copy. All right, someone happy? We made a copy. We made a copy, and now this will work. Make this work with read-only memory views, if possible. The copy's almost done. No, those were the days. I know that the company has gone so downhill. Like they've just people bought this phone because they could mess with it, right? Now Google's more open. Oh. Does copy retain the... Yeah, it does. Oh. Okay. I don't really know why we have a bug, but let's try that. All right, hip works. Great. Why are those realizing when they shouldn't be? Oh, I guess because it's running the model. Actually, can I go all the way through there without running anything? Let's see. No, something runs. Are there realizes in there? Yeah, realizes. There maybe are? Yeah, there's a realize here. That's disgusting. I should change this. I'm gonna actually change this so the JIT will automatically realize at some point. Realize should be true, but when I call it here, oh, that's forward. Okay, forward JIT, yes. Here we'll just set realize equals false. If we're not using the JIT. If we're not using the JIT, there's no reason we have to. I don't ever realize that. That's good. That's good. Let's go. No, something's still realizing. What's calling realize? Where is it being called? What? Why do those have to be realized? No, don't realize. Okay, never mind. This is all useless then. What if I don't? Those are... That's kind of annoying. You do have to realize those, right? That's the KV cache. No, we don't need to write over the weights. I just did that in case I broke it. You know, I bricked a OnePlus phone. We're not going to brick... we're going to brick my Mistral weights. Then we have to retorrent them. I'm sure Mistral will refund my weights. Well, you know what? Mistral can give me back the $0 I paid for my weights. I'm sure they'd be happy to do that. Ew, there's a realize there too. There's a disgusting amount of realizes in this. They need to be removed. The realizes must be removed. But that's a later project. For now, we just have to settle for the fact that you just got to realize. Okay, that's fine. Whatever. The model realizes. You just got to be okay with that, okay? You just got to be okay with that. Okay? You just have to be okay with that. Okay? Alright, let's see. Okay, wait. Are there any I didn't set? You said that I missed one? Maybe we'll do this the other way then. Which is fine too. No, not v.assign. I want model state dict equals get state dict model state dict sub k dot assign. All right, let's go. And then I actually don't need states of k there. I can just do v there. States of k is also okay. We'll just do it like that. Oh, okay. You're right. I missed the gate. Oh, yeah, I see what I did. I didn't include the gate. Thank you. Someone mentioned this. And that's why I did that. And you were a good person. Okay. Device is meta. Oh. I didn't even set the D types on this, do I? This doesn't matter. Num experts. Args dim. Wait, what? Okay, I sort of see what's happening there. Bias equals false. That's fine. Okay, let's go. Okay, it loads. Now, unfortunately, it's going to use up all my GPU RAM. I'm sure of that. Okay. Let's see. Did we get an output of a gate? Let's get an output of a gate. So it's interesting. So this like picks the ones I'm using. Top K. Okay. So top 2. Why do they call this feedforward expert and this is wrong? Enumerate self.experts, but I guess what I don't really understand is why is it still running all the experts, right? Like, this is still running the code for every single one of these every time. Does it not run less? Like, what is this thing doing? Do you run every expert every time? Takes the two best NN layers. It should learn to only fire top K them at inference, but why? This sure looks like it's firing all of them, right? It's going through every expert and running it. And then it's multiplying it by something. By the way, this will actually run. It's a bad implementation. You can only run 2. Yeah, that's what I thought. So does this run? This is actually probably going to run. Because, see, it runs. Okay. Ooh, this is so cool, actually. Okay. We're going to have to put the experts on different GPUs. But we can do this. tinygrad is amazing. So this just loaded only the weights that we need. Because it's all lazy. So we're gonna have to do some GPU assigning, but this shouldn't be bad. Okay, so if feedforward.experts in k.split feedforward subexperts .1.split this that this that this that. Okay, so we'll call this expert no, and then this needs to take in an argument for device. Else device equals device.default. Actually, we just shouldn't do that at all. We can pass in an argument here, device. And here we can just say expert number divided by 2 plus 1 device equals device.default plus colon plus string experts no plus 1. Right. So let's just quickly print all these. You can say state sub k.shape device. Just so I can show you where all the things are going. Assign shape mismatch or device mismatch. Oh, that's brutal. I actually want to allow that. Should be fine. Okay. So by the way, how easy is tinygrad to use? So we're using 5 GPUs here. We're putting the experts. We're putting 2 experts on. Okay. So there's 1 GPU with all the attention stuff, and then we're gonna have 5 experts on 5 different GPUs. On 4 different GPUs, okay? So you see we've put like expert 0 and 1 on GPU 1, expert 0 and 2 and 3 on GPU 2, this on GPU 3, and this on GPU 4. All right, this is a good test of all of tinygrad's fancy multi-GPU stuff. So let's go. By the way, this should have a type. I think this returns tensors. Why do I not have a return type for this? This is a Dixter tensor. We should create a branch called Mixtral. Mixtral. Alright, good changes so far. Alright, so now we gotta actually run some of these experts. Wait, so yeah, so you're telling me this implementation is just dumb, and there's no reason it actually has to run all of them? Yeah, there's no reason this. Wait. You can This gate outputs 8 values. You can take the top 2 and softmax them. Oh, based. Let's go. Okay. G.numpy. I'm gonna have to go to numpy here. So we're gonna say choice equals G.numpy. You know what? No, we shouldn't use .numpy. .numpy is evil. Because it uses numpy. So I think we can use .data to list. All right, this will feel a little better. I'm just gonna throw an exit here. Okay. There's a few too many zeros there for my liking. Why are those all 0? By the way, yeah, NumPy's like, TinyGrad's like the ideal framework for this. You're running out of RAM. Captain, oh no, you're running out of RAM. Data also uses NumPy, yeah, but someday it won't. Okay, was there an input? Yeah, there should have been. Should be my input here, right? Oh, and I did just put in 0 for the token. Maybe that's wrong. Let me just copy. Let's actually get a tokenizer in here. We're gonna have to do this anyway. It's not a big deal. Looking coder.py. Input the stupid tokenizer. Sentence piece processor. Oh, at least I got the sentence piece processor working. Great. Okay. Hello. Hello. Oh, we need to also put the start token. That's in llama. We're not going to use these fancy ones here. So how do I get the start token? This llama code's crap. Boz ID. Okay, so we're going to tox equals that. And then spp.boz ID. Plus SPP encode below. Let's print the tops. Is that good? Oh, module name sentence piece, huh? Do I think it's good for that? I don't know if it's good for that. I don't know what it's good for, man. Is the gate still going to be 0? Wait, what? What? Oh, no. Okay. The gates aren't 0 anymore. Great. I don't know why it was 0. I mean, let's just make it work for one token first. I'm off to the races. Oh, no. You do have to run all the experts if you're doing... I don't like that. Okay, whatever. You see what I mean? Like, if your batch size is bigger, you do have to run all the experts, and you do have to mask them like this. Can you buy tiny boxes for your research lab? I hate when people ask questions like this. I don't give a shit what you buy it for. As long as you're not buying it to help Iran make nuclear weapons or help, you know, whatever the new axis of evil is. If you're helping North Korea or Iran, I don't buy a tiny box. But otherwise, buy a tiny box, right? Like, I don't care otherwise, right? As long as you're not using it for a illegal US sanctioned purpose, I don't care. But if I did get a reach out from Kim Jong-un's nuclear program trying to buy tiny boxes, I would say, sir, while I respect the sovereignty of your country, I live in the United States and I am not allowed to sell you these tiny boxes, Mr. Kim Jong-un, sir. That's what I'd have to say. But otherwise, I don't care. Buy the tiny box. No, I don't care. I just don't want to get harassed by the feds, okay? All right, so don't use it for illegal shit. But otherwise, I don't care. And if you're using them, if you're using them to screw customers, if you're using them to not give customers the 15-day return they're entitled to, I don't care. Buy a tinybox. Thank you for your 15 grand. Sir, I can't be the moral police here, sir. You can buy them on the OnePlus store. Don't buy anything on the OnePlus store. I can't believe it. Bro, it's just I have emotional regulation issues, you know what I mean? Like, how do I get so... It's $1,500, I don't care. But, like, I do care. Because you wronged me as a consumer, okay? Do the right thing. No, that's Google's motto. Don't be evil. That is our motto. Our motto is don't be evil like North Korea and Iran. But otherwise, you're good. And I'm not even saying North Korea and Iran are evil. I'm just outsourcing that opinion to the United States government, okay? All right. Personally, I don't have a strong opinion either way. But, you know, that's just what my government tells me is evil. And I genuinely do love America, you know, so you got to support America. All right. So this is only going to work one token at a time. Do you think that's going to be slow? And the answer is maybe. I don't know. Make the world a better place? No, don't be evil. My company will not be evil, but I'm not going to judge other people for being evil. We believe in live and let live. Can I filter by positive vowels? I don't know if that's like a thing about like we're going to filter the countries by positive vowels or this, because why does positive matter, man? Numbers are just numbers, man. Okay, but no, we're not going to filter by positive vowels. We're going to take the two largest. We have to get the two largest. How do I get the two largest? Okay, really sorted, enumerate, choice. That's probably right, actually. That wasn't too bad. I complained for way too long about that. Do I have to reverse the sort? We'll find out in a minute. To list. We're going to have to put a few... Assert x.shapes of 0. The reason they run all the experts is the batch size isn't always 1. But when the batch size is 1, you can run more. Okay, good. That doesn't look very sorted. Does that look sorted? Oh, no. Key equals lambda x sub 1. Okay, those are the worst two experts. We need the best two experts. We're hiring only good experts at this job, okay? Top 2. Okay. We are calling upon experts 1 and 5. Okay. Self.experts sub top sub 0 sub 0 x. We'll call it E1. We'll call it E2. Oh, we're hand coding everything here. All right, that was good. All right, we're gonna run 2 experts, and they're on different GPUs, so it's gonna bitch me out now, hopefully, and telling me you can't run that X. No, it didn't do that. Okay. Well, because I didn't realize. No, okay, hang on. I'm gonna have to normalize the probabilities. Think this stuff's right. We have to normalize the probabilities and then we can add them. No, you know what? We'll just do this in ret. E1 times this plus E2 times this. All right. We'll throw a ret.realize in here. And now it's going to bitch me out for, you have to send it to the other GPU. And I'm aware, and I will. Okay, there we go. All devices must be the same. So, feed forward. Okay, we're gonna have to figure out what device it's on. How do I do that? Okay, E1 device equals E1 sub what's in a feed forward? W1, what's in a linear? So I can do like E1 dot W1 dot, what's inside a linear? Like a weight? E2, so here we're going to have to go to E1 dev, and here we're going to have to go to X dot device. Seems good. All right, let's go. All right, let's see if it loads the other expert. Oh, look, it's loading the expert on GPU 1, and it's loading the expert on GPU 3. Great. When I don't set debug equals 0, it can do them in parallel too, which is even better. Okay, that should just be right, I think. Let me just print these two things to make sure I didn't do anything stupid. I think they should be like normal norms. If I'm using softmax, oh, I need E to the, okay, fine. We could do that. Yeah, there's got to be like the log max or something. I mean, we should just be able to do .x there. I don't fix that. Okay, great. Wait, is that right? Yeah, that should be right, right? Cool. So like, yeah, we're going across devices. It's loading all the tensors. You know, we can play right where it belongs if it wasn't copyrighted. Okay, good. So let's return rat. And let's not print that. All right, let's go. What is my next token? Let's go. Mixtral. All right. Should we preload all the tensors? I think it's spending a lot of time loading and stuff. Here, you can preload all the tensors if you want. Let's throw a t equal to tqdm state. tqdm is a dependency of tinygrad, by the way, because tqdm is one of the most beautiful libraries. Only the most beautiful libraries. T.set description loading k. So throw a realize in there. Let's see how long it takes to load everything. Not too bad. We only track the RAM used on the main device. So see, it's like copying them to all the different devices. We can probably see the RAM here. Okay, you can see the RAM usage on the GPUs. Why does this take so long to load now? What's doing this. Why is it slow? Is this the same bug we had last time? Remember when like things like weren't loading? And then I don't know how we fixed it. Can I see my ratio? How much have I uploaded? Should I feel morally okay to stop seeing this torrent? Wait. This was like the other bug. Yeah, I know. Stupid AMD. Yeah, I don't know why this is happening. On H-top? CPU's at 100%. It's probably like some race condition in hip or something. No, let's try normal Python. No. I loaded something small to memory as a test and it fixed that? I mean, let's try coder.py. By the way, we no longer have to create a cache anymore. I deleted all that caching stuff. Now it's just building, which is fine. I think. I don't know. It seems like the same crap. I love H-top. Let's try beautiful MNIST. This is like some bug in the AMD GPUs. Oh, this is a bug in the AMD GPUs. By the way, we dropped multiple $1,000 bounties. We're going to be able to see if we can load Twitter here, but probably not. No. This is like weird stale Twitter. Elon. Can I trace Python? Yeah, we can trace Python. Okay, this one works okay. It seems like it's mostly the ones just loading from the disk. Which one is it using? Yeah. Okay, so that's where it's stuck. AMD KFD. All right, GDB it is. I don't know why that happened. Oh, this also isn't hip. We should do hip. mmap 64. Oh, we should also do debug equals 2. Okay. AMD, I'm fixing your bugs. They were responsive. I sent them some new bugs. They haven't fixed them yet. See, look, here we go. Why does it not load those? Why is it giving me a... Oh, that's okay. All right. So what happened? Why is it mad slow here? Great. We're deep in the libhsa runtime. How do I get GDP to print a Python traceback so I can see where that's hanging? All right, boys. Yeah, so we're in the HSA runtime, okay? You know, we had an HSA back in the day. It was the Home and School Association. And now, like, I hear all these things, and I'm like, wow, was everything just communist? No, like, why is it doing this? Okay. Well, one of the things I'm probably doing is copy in is async. We can always make things not async, because async things just break things. Hit memcopy. Does this one work? I should have run with debug equals 2, because it could just be building code now, which is okay, but it also could be hanging, which is not okay. Nope, I think we're hitting the same bug. Like, I don't know what's going on here. Why is it hanging? Oh, God, AMD, fix your shit! All right, you ready for debugging? We shouldn't blame AMD yet, okay? It's rude to blame people until you're sure it's their fault. Then, like OnePlus, you should blame them for really ruining what was a nice thing. Okay, so it is these mem copies that take forever. Yeah. So like I'm calling hit mem copy. Why is it so slow? This should be like a normal thing. Would single GPU work? Bro, first off, this is a single GPU. I'm using a single GPU right here. Can it be that the memory is full? It's not full. What do you mean? I have so much memory. You saw my memory? I have tons of it. This is just cache. No. How did I fix this last time? No, like, this can't be my fault. I'm calling hip memcopy. Okay, I know a way to fix this, but nobody's gonna be happy. That should work at least, I think, maybe. You loaded a large basic tensor and it loaded and fixed it. I want to, there's $1,000 bounty right now for somebody to just rewrite the whole HIP runtime. Like if it's in the kernel, it's in the kernel. But I mean, here you go. This is gonna load. I think we just copy it through the CPU. It's just slow. Look how slow it is. Now we should be able to at least use read into. Should be copy out. So let's do to clang. Let's try to clang here. This might be a little faster. You see what's happening? So say, okay, good, clang's a little faster. Well, no, that's just because that was cached on the disk. But so you see, we can see, like, man, tinybox's so good. Like, look, we're seeing exactly how fast all these loads are happening. Okay, we're reading from the disk at like 2 gigabytes a second. We're copying to the GPU at like 22. And yeah, if we do this without debug, it won't wait for things anymore. Should be a little better. All right, cool. Okay. All right, this is at least working. Oh, this isn't using HIP anymore. This is also using, oh, 330. We got an answer. That's our first token. Oh, let's go, boys. Let's go. Okay, we just copy everything to the stupid CPU. Fine, whatever, man. Whatever, we're rich, okay? We're rich. Is this gonna load fast this time? No, it still loads really slow. I mean, we are loading a lot of gigabytes, right? And we're loading them all over, like to many GPUs. So just something to be aware of. Okay, for I in range 10. I don't know. Let's generate 20 characters. Oh, we got a different one that time. Okay, well that actually makes sense. Okay, talks dot append talk start pause plus equals 1 print, what is it, spp.decode. Decode talks, spp.decode talks. Okay, what is Mistral going to say to us? Let's find out. We have to wait for it to load again. Well, now it has to copy through stupid clang because there's some bug in copying from the... No, it's like some kernel... You see what it is, right? Okay. All right. // fire base user manager. All right, but does everyone understand how we did this with the GPUs? Oh, we should be able to bring rocm-smi wasn't actually causing any problems. So you see we're using 89% of the VRAM in 4 GPUs, which each have 2 experts on them. And then we're using 17% of the VRAM in the main thing, which is doing all the attention. Xcode project. All right. Import fire base. We do need it to run all the models, actually. Like, you think you can get away with running less models, but you can't. Okay, guys, Mistral has spoken to us. Firebase user manager.swift Xcode project import Firebase type alias Firebase user Mixtral. What is it saying? What does it mean? All right, let's just do the 0 temperature and see what we got. Can you show where I split the experts on the devices? Yes. In a minute. Let it generate something. Let it speak. How do you get the value of a variable in a different class? I have a class called main activity. Run it on the Mac? I can't. I have nothing else aside from a tinybox that's capable of actually running this model. Yeah, could I do -i? Yeah, I could do -i. And we should really come up with a better way to deal with this in general. But I do think that is going to be today's stream. I'm pretty happy with what we did here. I have refactoring work to do that isn't playing around with Mixtral. Let's give it a push. Yeah, and I should figure out how to actually clean this up. I will get this merged. So where is that to device? Yeah, this I commented out. It shouldn't be here. It should be somewhere else. Thoughts on MLX? Yeah, no, MLX is pretty cool. That just shouldn't be here. Let's get rid of that. I'll figure out how to clean that up. Let's get this open sourced. Incompatible types in assignment. What? What? None of this shit works anyway. Mixtral, fix up update stats, add that. Add a type there, comment that out, remove that, switch to async, and don't let assign across devices. How do you think Python mtrace is gonna? Yeah, MLX is pretty nice. It's like nice small readable code, which is cool. I gotta eat breakfast. I gotta take a shower. We got things to do today. Don't buy anything from the OnePlus store, and really reconsider whether you want to, deal with that brand at all. I mean, like, the phone looks pretty nice. The software was terrible. Don't set your fastboot partition to be. We'll let non-subscribers talk for a little bit. If they have any questions about Mixtral, hopefully I did it right. But we also, why is the AMD thing broken? I don't know if we're ever going to really. So the bug is when you are copying directly from mmap disk into GPU, something's really slow. Yeah, we'll have to figure out a better way to do this anyway. There's actually a cool PR right now on TinyGrad to use the metal like direct copier for that. But no, we'll get there. We'll make sure this works really well on the tinybox. When you get a shipping tinybox. By the way, this was the first real use of there's nothing else that I have that's capable of running this model. And the fact that this model just worked so quickly on a tiny box. I mean, are we 100% sure it's working? No. But I mean, that looks pretty plausible, right? Why is Mistral gaining so much traction in AI field not similar to Llama V2? Because it's better. Take off the glasses, sure. Even though you're not a subscriber, I'll listen to you. How many Voodoo 3000s do I need? Oh yeah, I did say I'd talk about a little bit how I split them. So basically I just put the experts on, I put all the attention on GPU 0, and then I put the experts on 1, 2, 3, and 4. Do I think quantization makes performance worse? Yes, it definitely does. But how much worse? Probably you're still better off. You're better off running like a quantized accumulator. Thank you for gifting subs. Wow. 50 subs. Thank you. Simulator. Do you have a question? Mad Dog Nation with the 20 sub gift. Mario Bine with the 5 sub gift. I love you guys. Thank you. We're trying to do streaming on Saturday. We're trying to have more of a scheduled, regimented life. I sleep on my 8 sleep bed. Just kidding. I wouldn't buy that crap, but I do have an Aura ring. And I don't even mean to hate on 8 sleep, but I do mean to hate on OnePlus, who's really their brand reputation was here in my mind, and now it's down here. Bro, take the phone back. You know what I mean? Do you want me to have this phone and be upset and tell my Twitch people I'm upset and tell my Discord people I'm upset? Or do you just want to take the phone back and we can just, call it an L all around, right? Instead of it being a big L for everybody. Now this is a big L. A SAS bed. No, really, so disappointing. But it's not this isn't like Qualcomm, right? The thing about Qualcomm is we're going to be stuck with dealing with Qualcomm for 10 more years, right? They're going to decline, but it's going to be slow. They actually might not even decline. I have seen some signs that Qualcomm may actually fix things. I think AMD is going to fix things. I have seen zero signs that OnePlus is going to fix things. After CEO left, is P. Loud no longer there? Because I met the CEO, this is the other thing, I have history with these companies, wait, I didn't know about rocm-smi. They just named the thing something different. It probably has all the same bugs. So I don't know, this bug is going to be really annoying. At least the other, oh my god, the other bugs I've given them are reproducible on their systems and they still haven't fixed them. I have 2 bugs, one where I can cause, errors with the micro engine scheduler, and one where HIP compilation inexplicably takes 5x longer than CL compilation because they're using a different code path, and it's just stupid. There's no reason for it. And it is open source. I could fix it, but I don't know if you can actually submit pull requests to their projects yet, and it's across 2 different projects, and I don't trust their CI. When is TinyGrad beating Kudo? We're not. But this is a yeah, I mean this is like this bug, I don't know if they're ever going to be able to like reproduce it on their system. What I'm doing is I've mmapped an NVMe drive and I'm trying to do copy in from the NVMe drive direct to the GPU. This is likely there's some chance this is a Linux kernel bug, where like you're getting some like n squared behavior on an allocator or something. But yeah, no, it's annoying to have to sit here and wait 18 seconds for it to load the weights. Actually, that's not that bad. Was it really only 18 seconds? That's not that bad. Did I play with madvise? Oh, that might fix it actually. What if I lock the pages? Yeah, if I madvise lock the mmap pages, that will probably work. But again, that's doing something that I don't want to do, right? I don't really want to have to copy the pages through CPU memory at all. Like, we're going to figure out how to make the GPU just directly load from the NVMe on PCIe. If this is at all possible. But this is one of the goals of the tinybox, so we're going to figure it out for you guys. But yeah, no, I mean, this is unclear. Like, it's unclear somewhat if it's an AMD bug. I mean, it is just annoying that like this doesn't happen anywhere else. But yeah, the fix is long and boring. My opinion on Triton. I found that what it could really use is a fuzzer. I like the Triton guy. But there's a lot of flakiness if you don't use Triton like exactly as it's intended. Like if you stray at all from the examples, Triton fails sometimes in just like completely inexplicable ways. So I think it's kind of flaky, and I don't know like if this is going to be fixed or if it's built. Talk about Triton 2.0. It might get better. But yeah, my opinions are in general, it's like, if you are following the beaten path, Triton is good. If you expect to use it as a general purpose programming language, don't. But I'm sure it's great for things like flash attention. And have I delivered any tiny boxes? We have 3 tiny boxes now. One of them is Tiny 8, one of them is Tiny 7, one of them is Tiny 9. Yeah, this was cool. No, like I'm glad that we figured out how this mixture of experts things actually works, what it means for there to be 2 experts. Yeah, very cool. And it's like simple. Like I really like writing simple stuff for people. Actually, I don't even need a transformer block there, do I? This is the same. We can actually make this simpler. What am I doing? Transformer blocks identical. I just need to change. I just can say feed forward. And instead of TF block, I'll just change this to feed forward equals feed forward. And then I'll just change that to feed forward. And then I'll change this to transformer block. And I'll pass feed forward in here. And then I will get rid of that and say feed forward equals functools.partial mixture feed forward 8 because there's 8 experts. And then we can delete this redundant crap and we can import functools. And we don't need those anymore, and we don't need that anymore, or that. RMS norm, and let's see if it still works. So the only thing that really changes is the feed forward function. And you see this functools partial, so I just put num experts equals 8 there, so that's kind of cool. So then it's called with the same API as this feed forward. Yeah, so just by swapping out this one class, we can get mixture of expert support. And yeah, okay, you see, because wow, it seems faster too. That seems faster. And like, so when you set the temperature to 0, it's cool. You're going to get deterministic behavior. So you see we're getting the same stuff every time. Super cool. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. We made it even simpler, boys. And you see that we put the experts, like this is our expert sharding policy right here. Things like this are super easy to express in tinygrad, which is cool. And then that's our sampler. And then we just changed, yeah, the MixtureFeedForward class. And we pass that in through. Simpler. That was a win, guys. That was a straight up W right there. Straight up W. Yeah, suck it, Quentin. You don't have any experts. So here you see we push the X tensor to the device that contains this choice of expert and the device that contains this choice of expert, just based on the device where the weight lives. And then we bring it back to the original device where we average the two. Cool. Does Simulator have a question that I missed? It's very important. Or Mad Dog Nation or Mario Vine, if you're a sub-gifter, you get to ask questions. Not everybody can't ask questions. Just we don't want questions from low-value people like non-subscribers. Gifters are welcome to ask questions. What are they doing if not fixing bugs? I mean, they're looking into my bugs. Like, I can't, like, at least I'm getting responses from people who say they can reproduce them. You can't yell too much. I mean, they do have different, Can we measure cross GPU overhead? We can. Here, I'll run it with debug equals 2 so we can see what's going on. But the way I'm doing this, there's no cross GPU overhead. By the way, we're not using HIP. We're using just OpenCL here. So this is us loading all the stuff. You see that it has to waste stupid time loading things into Clang. It has to, like, it's doing 2 copies, right? It's first copying it. That's how we fixed the bug. It's my favorite cake. You're listening only? I don't even know what that means. Okay, so you can see here, this is the moving. You know what? Let me just do here. I'm gonna write global. We have another class called global counters. By the way, like as tinygrad becomes 1.0, you can just import these things now from tinygrad. I made it in init.py for things that normal people can like use. So we can do a global counters.reset there, so we can get an idea of actually how quickly the model's running. It loads fast for a little bit, and then I think we're running into the end of our RAM cache or something. Maybe not. I don't know. What's the reason for choosing PyTorch instead of TensorFlow? We didn't choose either. We chose tinygrad. Non-subscribers. Okay, so we can see how long things are taking. Let's Control C it here. So we can look at the last run here. Okay, so we're taking, it's only 90 milliseconds of GPU time. There's a lot of overhead now because this isn't in the JIT. So that's another cool project here. But we're actually getting 10 tokens per second, which is pretty cool. If you ignore the tinygrad overhead, which unfortunately is high. We should just work on reducing that. Yeah. But you see that these are the copies here. The copies take basically no time. This is microseconds. Oh, that copy is a little bit slower. Yeah, but we're copying 496. I mean, that's like less than... It's not as instant as I'd like it. Oh, you know what'll make it more instant? I think we can go a little faster if we do hit. But it's going to take time to load now. It's because it's got to compile the model. But if we go to HIP, with OpenCL, we have to do copies through the CPU, but with HIP, we can do transfer, which copies directly from GPU to GPU, and it should be faster. So we're getting like 90 milliseconds before. Let's see what we get with HIP. Why is tinygrad overhead high? Yeah, I mean, tinygrad's not really written to be fast in Python yet. You know, the code's written to just like work and do things. We're not worried about that kind of stuff yet, but we'll get there, and then it'll be better. HIP manages to be slower. Well, okay, let it run, let it cook. HIP's just insanely slow. What? Why is this so slow? Maybe the copies are at least fast. Yeah, the copies are faster. A little bit. But HIP is so slow. Ugh. Ugh. Why is it so slow? But let's see, maybe the copies are at least faster. Let's take a look at the copies. Okay, so how long are we taking in HIP? Well, a lot of that's again just Python overhead, but we're still 92 milliseconds a thing. But yeah, these are the copies between GPU, and some of them are insanely fast because this is going. It still should be faster, but still, that's pretty good. But yeah, there's very negligible overhead between that. Part of the problem is I have to go to the CPU here. And this triggers a, like, it's hard to synchronize things across GPUs. And we're working on stuff for that. That's going to make it a lot better. But we're synchronizing more than we have to. Use Go or C and it'll be faster. Look, no. Don't do that. Ew, Rand doesn't look like the other ones. That's ugly. Woes Parrot, how's my new Rand coming? We're gonna switch to 3 fry. No. The solution is not Python or Go or C. The solution is fixing the algorithms to not be slow, right? Most problems are algorithmic, not just straight up performance, right? Like, or you're making copies where you don't have to, or you're just not thinking about things correctly. So rewrites will make this faster, and I will start to care about this. I mean, we should be able to get 90 milliseconds would be nice. What about the bitter lesson? Yes, the bitter lesson. Do you need moderators? You want to go from a non-subscriber to a moderator? Bro. That's like me walking into Google and be like, you should replace Sundar Pichai with me. I mean, they should, but they're not going to do it. Do I need help? Yes, getting a refund from OnePlus that I'm entitled to. Can you fake a demo like he can, though? We are not going to fake demos. We're going to drop torrents when I'm in charge. Do I need a new CEO? Oh my God, some guy reached out to literally, like, he wants to run tinygrad. I'm like, have you solved a bounty? And he's like, no. I'm like, how the fuck are you going to run tinygrad then? You know what I mean? You could sell unbans. There we go. This guy's, I mean, at least he's honest. You know, you gotta give him props on his honesty. Have you solved a bounty? Like, bro, all of tinygrad is just solving bounties. But how good's our multi-GPU stuff? That was pretty good, right? No MOE chat. They're not out yet. But I'm glad that we have this, and we'll do another stream maybe next week or maybe in 2 weeks. This field's moving really fast. where we can run these things. But yeah, that's how GPT-4 runs. It's nice to now finally understand what it means to have two experts. And have I read the Mamba paper? Yeah, but I didn't really understand it. I think someone's got an implementation in tinygrad. I'll read it once it's in tinygrad. But how does tinygrad's low-level interface with the hardware work? I created a library called GPU ctypes. It just like look at this. This is all of tinygrad stuff is now through this. It's just ctypes. Yeah, I kind of know what a state space model is. $200 for implementing Mamba and tinygrad, but I think someone already did it. We don't do high bounties for the inference bounties because they're like fun enough. People will do them on their own, and they're not like that valuable to core tinygrad. I mean, they're valuable, but they're not. GPU ctypes is 100% auto-generated and checked in CI. So it's checked to make sure the hashes are the same. It's built in CI, and it's checked to make sure the hashes are the same, which is cool. So yeah, no, it's really nice how tinygrad interfaces with the hardware now. Yeah, sharding models across GPUs. Yeah, so we've been talking about this a lot. Chen Yu, our first intern, is working on. We now have GPT-2 almost down below 2 milliseconds per token. And this is just starting to really beat all the other libraries on speed there, which is cool. And you know, from GPT-2 is mostly the same as Llama. We can have like the fastest Llama inference across a whole lot of platforms, which is cool. Again, given that it's FP16. We are not pushing into the... We can do int 8, but we're not pushing into the crazy quantized types yet. Yeah, 3 bounties. If I search for tinygrad bounties, does Google work well enough? So we released 3 new $1,000 bounties. The embedding in one kernel without new ops, supporting large batch sizes. Removal of CUDA HIP runtime and replace it with a short Python GPU driver. You can see that I've done this here for CUDA, and we have a similar one for HIP. So this will launch a CUDA kernel without the CUDA kernel CUDA driver runtime. So we're just kind of implementing that in Python and getting it working. But you can still use CUDA and HIP for the compiler, so you don't have to rewrite a compiler. But you do have to write a driver, probably 200 lines. And then for the math-oriented among us, if you can prove or disprove the mergeability of 2 arbitrary shape trackers in Lean, we have a proof here of, well, it's like sort of a proof, reshape without symbolic. Yeah, so we've switched. We no longer use symbolic to merge the shapes, which is cool. But like formalize this proof and make it work for. So view reshape without symbolic is basically just saying we have 1 arbitrary shape tracker and 1 like contiguous shape tracker, saying can the contiguous shape tracker be moved into the arbitrary shape tracker? But given 2 arbitrary shape trackers, can you merge them or not? Right? And then I want this in a formal programming language. It doesn't necessarily have to be Lean. We just recommend Lean, which is kind of cool. How's the ML perf stuff going? Pretty good. So a lot of it's waiting on... I do have to do the sharding thing. I'm working on sharding across GPUs in some nice way. So this one was really... Like the Mixtral thing was really easy to shard across GPUs because we just put different models on different GPUs effectively. But I want to be able to shard like linear layers across GPUs and batches across GPUs, and this is basically the same thing. I tweeted a little bit about the API. It's going to be really straightforward, but it needs a refactor to lazy.py, which is a refactor I've needed to do for a while. That was almost what today's stream was going to be. Today's stream was going to be the lazy.py refactor, but we ended up doing Mixtral instead because I think it'll have a broader audience appeal, and I'm always thinking about the audience, and it's really important that we get people in here to hear that they should never buy anything on the OnePlus store. Just like, imagine I was watching a YouTube and they were like, don't buy anything on the OnePlus store, and I would have been like, wow, I wouldn't have done it. I'm trying to help you out, boys, and I'm trying to make my enemies suffer at the same time. They're not really my enemy. I'm just disappointed. I'm just let down. You know what I mean? I'm let down. I'm let down as a consumer. Right? And I don't ever want people to feel that way about comma. So if anyone's got a problem with comma like that, just know that you can always reach out to me. Now, I might deem you in the 2% of unreasonable people. And to be fair, if OnePlus deems me in the 2% of unreasonable people, I will respond to you by saying I have 222,000 Twitter followers, so I can't be that unreasonable, right? That's the truth, right? If famous people have a problem with you, there's probably something that's wrong with you, right? Like when some jack off in chat tells me something's wrong with me, I don't care. But if Taylor Swift told me something was wrong with me, oh my God, I'd listen, man. I'd listen. Because you know what? Taylor Swift is more right than I am, right? This is something I had to remember a lot of Twitter with Elon. It's like, whatever thoughts you have, your thoughts are not as good as Elon's because he's a billionaire and you're not. Right? Like you just always have to remember that, right? And you should always remember that when I'm talking to you, that I'm famous and you're, well, if you're famous, hey, look, if you're famous, then I respect your opinion. But if you're not famous, ask yourself why, right? Or rich. Rich works too, right? Like if someone's rich and famous, their opinions are better than yours, right? It's just wild, man. Like whatever Taylor Swift has, if Taylor Swift has honest thoughts about my personality, I will listen, take them to heart, and change, Taylor. I will change for you, Taylor. I will change for you. Well, she's like the most famous person ever, man. I knew Taylor Swift when she was slightly less famous. Yeah, man. Taylor Swift, if Taylor Swift genuinely wanted to be CEO, I would let her. Absolutely. Like you know what I mean? I would trust Taylor. I'd ask questions about why Taylor Swift wants to do this, right? You always got to ask that question, right? Like maybe I actually have a short on OnePlus and they're actually an incredible company and I have some ulterior motives. I'm shilling my bag like Jake Paul with his Charizard around his neck, you know? Like shill your bags, bro. Got a lot of Pokemon cards, got to shill those bags. But I don't have bags, man. I'm not trying to shill bags. I'm just really genuinely upset with myself that I ordered from the OnePlus store. And look, I'm not even upset that I bricked my phone. Like I wouldn't even be that upset about that. I'd like if they release the files, I'd go find a Windows PC and install it. Or even if the files leak, they leaked for the OnePlus 11. There's no leaked files for the OnePlus Open. By the way, if you're at OnePlus and you want to leak those files, right? But I don't even care. Like the thing just upsets me now. It upsets me to look at that phone, to think about that phone, to think about my interaction with OnePlus. And I do know that there's a few people out there who feel that way about comma. And my question is, are you in the 2% of unreasonable people or are you famous? Because if you're famous and you feel that way, we will change for you. That's right. Well, Taylor Swift didn't tell you shit. Unless you actually know Taylor Swift. If you do, you know. Like, would I listen to Skybree? Probably not. Maybe, though. How many followers does she have? Right? You gotta ask these questions. Are there smaller non-bounty tasks that need to be done in tinygrad? Yeah, I mean, but I'm not going to spoon feed you, man. Read the questions document, right? Like, are there things that need to be done? Sure, submit a pull request. Start getting stuff merged. Become a purple. Most people are purples before they become reds. You should listen to Kim Kardashian. You should. Do you get your employees to go to these conferences? Fuck no. Conferences, someone once bought a conference ticket on a comma credit card and we had to add a rule to the employee handbook that you absolutely cannot use company money to buy yourself conference tickets. The conferences they're not good. Go read the internet in your basement and you'll learn more. I don't know, like they can be fun if you're viewing it as a vacation, right? If you're like, hey, I'm taking a few days off work to go to the conference, like that's cool, man. That's like part of your vacation, but like you have to treat it as your vacation, right? Don't come up with some excuse like I'm going to a conference and it's for work, but actually, no. What about Taylor Swift tickets? I was too poor to buy Taylor Swift tickets, man. I could have bought and bricked like 3 OnePluses instead of buying 2 Taylor Swift tickets, you know? The link I retweeted just sent a broken link and you don't know jack about pirating? Ugh. Nurips is in NOLA. Yeah, that's part of it too. Like, how much crime is there in that place? I don't really like going places where there's a lot of crime. I don't really like crime. Conferences are only useful for networking. And tell me what networking is useful for. And like that kind of networking, not the kind with like this kind, you know? Wow, that's hard to unplug. Like this kind of networking I get, but like the other kind, man, the other kind is a scam, right? It's just like, I'm gonna like hang out with my friends, but bill it to the company. And that's what networking is. Okay. Yeah, so today, look, if you're gonna kill someone, like that's not my highest priority now. My highest priority now is to just tell all people out there, never buy anything from the OnePlus store. Make sure you buy it through Amazon so you have a good return policy. And remember also that everything after the OnePlus 9, if you do get it into a EDL state, you will not be able to restore it yourself. You can like kind of find leaked stuff, but then they added another level of security to the firehose programmer called verified image programming, and like you can kind of get around that. But then like at what point are you just like, why do these people hate me? I gave them money. Why don't you release the files? But you know, no one else is going to change. You can only change yourself, and that's the universal advice here. Yeah, thank you everybody for watching my stream on this beautiful stream Saturday. Contribute to TinyGrad. If you don't know where to start, that's a you problem, man. Like you can figure it out, man. Like I didn't know where to start. You know, no one ever tells you where to start in life, right? It's not like the yellow brick road, right? Like there's just a life, and you just play, man. Life is not a linear video game. It's a non-linear video game, right? It's an open world, okay? All right, you and your North Korean brothers. Look, I can't pay you if you're in North Korea, unfortunately, man. I don't want to violate any sanctions. I'm a good American. I try my best to follow laws and respect Joe Biden. Okay, thank you, everybody. Bye-bye. Have a good night. Have a good morning. Have a good Saturday. Bye-bye.